So a few days ago, and when I uploaded the first video of this channel, I mentioned two projects. I say two, but that's because I'm working on two separate series. There are actually multiple projects, but the one I want to get out of the way is the biggest project that we have going on. And that is my series I'm trying to make based on Sonic the Hedgehog under the title The Return of Sonic the Hedgehog. So I have made a lot of artwork for this, and I have started making the comic series. But one thing I wanted to do was, if I finish this and this channel gets popular enough, I would try to get animators to make a few test episodes, because I don't just want this to be a fan-made series. I want to actually try and pitch this idea to Sega themselves. If they're gonna choose it, I don't know, because a lot of the stuff I do in the comic is not something Sonic would do, but that plays into what I have stored next for this franchise. So the basic story is kind of like the IDW comics, where Sonic quote-unquote defeats Eggman. He vanishes for about 5 years. Sonic retires. Then when Eggman comes back, those 5 years later, Sonic's out of shape because he was retired and he's all out of breath. Can't really do anything. So he goes back to the Resistance, helps with all the badniks there, and meets up with Amy, and they go out, and Amy gets kidnapped. So the rest of the series is Sonic going through a bunch of different stages, like he would in a Sonic game, trying to make his way to Eggman's lair to save Amy. And there are a few side issues, like there's a Knuckles and Rouge comic, there's a Shadow the Hedgehog comic, but in the end it all ends out with a supersonic fight between Supersonic and a giant Eggman mech, like the Sonic 2 movie boss fight, like how that one turned out. But here's the thing I want to bring up. In one of the issues, I believe issue number 4 that I made, Tails makes this machine where if you it's like a gun, you put a ring into it, you shoot it, you can shoot as many portals as you want. But since Sonic didn't think of a specific place he wanted to go, he went and he put the ring in the gun, he fired the gun, opened a portal, he gets sucked into this kind of lobby, kind of like what we see in Sonic Prime. The whole episode is loosely based on Sonic Prime. He goes into other universes, but instead of being a distorted version of his reality, it's the other timelines and universes that he goes into. My Sonic universe is a completely different universe, and it comes into play. So he goes into the two Sonic Adventure games, Sonic Heroes, Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, and he goes into Sonic Boom, he goes into the Archie comics, the IDW comics, the old 90s shows. He can go into the OVA if you want. But, in doing so, it doesn't play much in the 4th issue. Without knowing, he broke pretty much every timeline of every universe that he went into. But when he goes into the 06 universe, you can see in the background, Silver realizes he's not the right Sonic from that timeline/universe. So he follows him out into other universes, and that comes into play for the big Sonic project that is supposed to be the sequel to this current Sonic series. It's a working title, but right now it's going to be called Sonic Eclipse. It's basically going to be a longer version of the Ring Dimensions comic I just told you about. It's going to have Silver and Sonic basically battling the whole time. Not the whole time, they're going to be on separate adventures, but in the beginning of the series, that's what he does. So, here's the thing. The thing I'm worried about is that there's another YouTuber doing a similar story type. And for those who don't know, it's called Sonic Villains. Now, I think it looks really good. I actually think it looks great. I'm just scared if I do my working title Sonic Eclipse thing, people are just gonna keep saying I'm ripping off this. I've had Sonic Eclipse and this Sonic series in the works since like the beginning of the year, like all the way back in January. And that's how much work I've put into it. It's been through a lot of changes. Like, I'll try and put a picture of Sonic's first design right here, and comparing this to his like design that I actually went with, you can see there's a big difference, and that's why I like to make concept art early, so I know what to do and what not to do later on down the line. But what I want you guys to do is to just help me get this channel up and running, because if you saw in the new intro that I made, that will be the intro for a long time, I have one of our OCs that I mentioned in the intro to this channel. It's my OC, his name's Thunder. He's a fox, again, from another multiverse. He's basically the Sonic of his universe. There's no Sonic in his universe, unlike other Sonic OC creators like the one I referenced a few days ago, I think, Courtney Project S&T. Go subscribe to her first, and maybe leave a comment on one of her videos. We'll try and reach out to her saying that like we're doing something similar. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a collab. I'm a huge fan of hers. But yeah, so we have one OC finished, and I'm working on the other ones because they're not exactly my OCs, they're my friends' OCs, but they want me to draw them in my design so it suits the whole tone. Also, let me know what you guys think of the new intro, and again, go support the Sonic Villains fan movie, because again, it looks really good. I'm honestly really excited for it. But the one thing I'm scared of is that they're gonna keep comparing this to what I'm working on, and I actually have some concept art here that I'll just put up here for a little bit. And I also just want to point out, I'm not trying to rip off anybody. The only thing I might be like seem like I'm ripping off is like the designs. Like, I'm trying to go towards the designs of the Sonic All Grown Up comics. Again, I'm not trying to directly copy it. I'm just slightly taking the designs, making a few adjustments, and just trying to put my touch on these designs. And yeah, I just want you guys to know that's what I have in store for this channel. Because this is only one part of this big studio. Endless Entertainment is going to be an actual business, or at least we're trying to get it to be. And it's not easy, but right now we have about 2 or 3 different series we'll be publishing. The other project I'm working on is another series of mine that has nothing to do with Sonic at all. But I'll save that for another video. But it is something that is important to me, but this Sonic stuff is like super important to me. So please reach out to any creators you know, any kind of animators, anything that will help us. Also, at the end of the videos I might do this. To our latest subscriber, you get a shout out. Thank you for subscribing. Now, yeah, that's about it. I guess I'll see you later.